Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Aset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it as well. And if you have time, please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read two of my favorite positive comments from previous videos. Okay. Now, also, something very exciting happened last week. I got another patron. Bobby Joe Preston signed up to be a patron. Bobby Joe is really sweet. She's an Aquarius, and I've talked to her a number of times, and I was so happy to see that she became a patron on Patreon. And if anybody else wants to become a patron, the link to Patreon is underneath this video, along with the link to my email in case you want to get a reading done, and the link to my what's under there, PayPal, my Teespring merch. Everything is under there. My Amazon wish list is under there. People have been sending me great gifts. Thank you so much. Over the years, I've gotten some wonderful gifts. And what else? Let me see. And also my social media information is underneath this video too. So check it out when you have a chance. Thank you, Bobby Joe. Thank you so much. And right now I'm working on a new series for my Patreon. For my Patreon page, and it's only going to be on Patreon. So if you want to check out my new series that I'm developing, then you need to go and sign up. All right, guys. So someone asked me if I was willing to discuss famous Aquarius. So every week I'm going to pick one famous Aquarius and talk about that person for as many Aquarius as we possibly have. So today we're going to talk about Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres is indeed an Aquarius. I looked it up. And I followed her career pretty much from the beginning. She started off doing stand-up comedy. She had a show. She came out as a lesbian when I was a young girl. I remember just being so proud of her throughout the years because she always stood up for, her rights. And I just thought that was really cool. And for the most part, Ellen stays out of trouble. People talk smack about her because she's a lesbian sometimes. And one day she was at a sports event and she was sitting next to George Bush. And everybody was up in arms about it because they're like, he's a Republican. He doesn't even support you having rights. How are you his friend? And so people were up in arms about that. But for the most part, she manages to stay out of major shenanigans until recently. Over the past year, maybe it's been maybe 6 months to a year, I kept hearing Ellen is mean. Ellen is mean. Ellen isn't really kind. She's really mean. And I would hear this online. I would hear this from different celebrities. One YouTuber, Nikki Tutorials, went on her show recently and said that she couldn't use a certain bathroom and that she really didn't feel the love and the kindness when she was on Ellen's show. Even though she didn't say Ellen was rude or mean to her, she just didn't feel like she was as warm as she probably expected her to be. So when people ask me, what do I think about this? I don't really think Ellen is mean. I think Ellen is an Aquarius. And this is how Aquarius are. We're very kind, just like she is. She has given away, I can't even count that high how much money she's given away. Same thing with Oprah. I can't even count how much money they've given away, and they're still constantly criticized for being mean. I can't imagine you being that charitable and being mean at the same time. Those things don't really coexist. So I don't think that she's mean. I think she's just an Aquarius. And Aquarius are like that. We are kind. We are humanitarians. We're all of those kind of things. But when you rub an Aquarius wrong, and I think this might have been what happened, maybe somebody rubbed her wrong and y'all saw her dragon. Because Aquarius many of us definitely have a dragon. Many of us have a temper. And if you pluck us wrong and then snap a photo, you might catch us with the mean face or with an attitude or something like that. But that doesn't say that that's who we are or that we're mean-spirited or mean at heart. So that's what I think. As soon as people started saying Ellen is mean, I knew I had an unpopular opinion because nobody agreed with me, but I just disagreed. I don't feel like she's mean. I feel like she's an Aquarius, and 9 times out of 10, she may have a bad temper, but I don't think having a bad temper necessarily means that you're a mean person. It just means you're a person who has a bad temper. You need to learn how to control and cope with your temper issues, period. So then I looked to see, what did she actually do? What were the mean actions? Did she kick somebody's cat? Did she slap somebody's grandma? Like, what did she really do? And listen to this shit. She was rude. She made mean or dismissive jokes. And she doesn't take kindly to strangers. So those things automatically make her mean. Now I could see rude, like people, maybe she did something and somebody perceived it as rude. It is easy to do something by mistake, and you all know this. It's easy to do something intentionally or by mistake, and other people perceive it as rude when you're not even trying to be rude. So that one is real iffy. Mean or dismissive jokes. Aquarius got jokes. I got jokes all the time, but I don't joke with everybody because some people you can't joke with. So I think that she, just like other comedians, I think that's one that is very common to say about a comedian. Some people just don't like the jokes that comedians do. Dave Chappelle has talked about this. Cat Williams has talked about this. I've heard several different modern comedians talk about how sometimes you make a joke and it just don't land well. And I think that's what happened in this case. She probably made something she thought was funny, and maybe the audience or the person or somebody else at home didn't think it was funny. But I don't think that makes her mean specifically, especially if that's not how it was meant. That's not how it was given. And lastly, they say she doesn't like strangers. Well, she has received death threats over the year because of her sexuality. She's been robbed. I remember at one point in time, they were talking about her house was robbed when her and her wife were home. So 9 times out of 10, that's probably a security thing. They said that she always goes around with her bodyguards. Many celebrities always go around with their bodyguards because of security. So I don't think any of these things necessarily make her mean. What I think about Ellen, I think she has Aquarius tendencies, and I think that people who are homophobic have been targeting her. And not even I think, I can prove it. You can go online and read some of the comments. Just look at the comments that are made about her. A lot of times the comments aren't about her being kind or unkind. They are rooted in homophobia. Because that's when she first started, when she came out. Before she came out, she wasn't getting death threats and things like that. As soon as she came out, and I can't remember how old I was, but I was very young. And as soon as she came out, that's when the death threats started, and those kind of things. And then over the years, you'll hear little buzzes about her here and there. Now, the people that know her personally do not say she's mean. And that's what I'm going with, because if you ask people about me that don't know me, they might say I'm mean, because I am very quiet. One thing about, I live here in Costa Rica. I got a few friends that I hang with, but I'm very quiet. I don't really fraternize with the neighbors. I don't believe in that. I've been in homes before and fraternized with the neighbors, and then something always pop off with them, and then they want to drag me in it, and So I don't believe in fraternizing with the neighbors. I'm very funny about that. I'm very quiet. I go do my business. I come back home, and somebody could say, she's mean, but I'm not. I'm just really, really quiet. I stay to myself. And I've had bad experiences that make me really stay to myself, and that doesn't make a person mean. That makes a person cautious, but anybody can perceive that any way that they want to. But people that know me, that have spent time with me, that are in my life, will be like, no, she's kind, she's generous. She don't take no shit. You're not going to come at her with the okie doke, but she's not somebody who's just going to be mean to you for the sport or mean-spirited. And I think the same thing is going on with Ellen. So I'm going to tell you guys, don't believe the hype. seriously don't believe the hype. Unless Ellen is mean to you or somebody that she knows personally comes out and says, yeah, she's been mean to me, I wouldn't believe that. A lot of you out there that are Aquarius have been accused of the same thing for the same reason. So those of us that are Aquarius, I feel like we need to have her back because we already know what the deal really is. Okay? So that's my girl Ellen. All right, let's just look at some positive comments. Number one came from Sarah Irick. She said, I'm an Aquarius and have two Gemini sisters that have the exact same personality as the Capricorn described. Could it just be personality and not the sign? Well, number one, yeah, it could be personality because these attributes that I talk about with a sun sign are just common with that sign. That doesn't mean that other people don't have those attributes. Like Aquarius are very well known for being eccentric. That don't mean it's not other eccentric people in the world. There's plenty of them. So just because, one person has that or one sign has those attributes doesn't mean that other people cannot. But also, you said that they're Gemini. So I'm guessing this Gemini is their sun sign. Now, they also could have Capricorn risings. They could have Capricorn moons. And they could have Capricorn placements in their chart. If you have any of those things, regardless of your sun sign, some of those characteristics of Capricorn are going to come out. Like, for example, I'm an Aquarius sun with an Aquarius rising, but I have a Sagittarius moon. So I'm very Aquarius. Plus, I have other placements in Aquarius too. So I'm very Aquarius, but at the same time, certain things about me have a Sag influence. For example, Sagittarius have a wanderlust. They like to roam and go places, and they're not very committal, which goes along with Aquarius. So that part of me has a little Sagittarius energy to it. So somebody who knows me might be like, oh, she wanders like a Sag. And that's true because that's my moon. So your sisters, even though they're Gemini, like I would have to look at their chart to know, but even though they're Gemini, doesn't mean they don't have any Capricorn in their chart. It's not just about your sun sign. This is the most important thing you must remember. It's about your chart, your sun, the moon, the rising. Where were the planets? Where was everything at in the heavens when you were born? All of that has an impact on your personality. Okay? Let's take a look at number two. Two came from Janice Holland. Janice says, spot on, spot on, spot on, spot on. I am a Taurus. And you got it down to a science. All systems go. Everything you said is true to form. 90-day rule and all. And the intellectual part down to a science. And for goodness sake, please be yourself. Definitely. She's a Taurus. She's responding to a video I did about Taurus and Aquarius. And the 90-day rule is to not be sexually active for 90 days after you start dating someone, to give yourself a chance to really know the person and not have a connection that's just based on lust. All right. Thank you so much, Janice. Thank you for commenting and thank you for watching. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So please come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.